Yo, yo, what's up? Episode 149. Wow. Here we go. Let's do it. Come on in, people. Happy Monday, everybody. Cheers. Excellent. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me turn this down. It's blaring. Let me know if I'm sounding okay. I'm actually going to turn this way down. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Yeah. I mean, here we are. It's November. What the hell? All right, we have a bunch of people in here already. I don't know where to start. We got some people here that are new. We got some old school. Camillo. Serena. What's up, Serena? Atomic Pirate Girl. Who else? William. Charlemagne. What's up? Bruja. Tony. Achilles. Ruth. What's up, Ruth? Party on. Steven. Come on in. All right, there's so many in here. I can't keep up. Jason. Camillo. CR Mealy. What's up, brother? Are you on this side or did you go to the other side? I know we gotta hang soon. What's up, mama? My mother's in the house. All right. Well, we got a great group. Listen, if you're new, please hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the notify. You know that whole deal. Honestly, hello, Camillo. Yeah, this is a live show, meaning I'm here live, you're here live, and there's a chat. So down below, chat, say hi. If you're, we do questions, we do thoughts, say hello, tell me where you're from. I do read the chats as I'm doing it. I don't have a moderator for that, so sometimes it's tricky. The more popular the channel's getting, the harder it is to do this, but I love doing it, so. Hey, Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Nobody fresh, cheers. Welcome, yeah, grab a drink. I'm drinking tonight. All out, no alcohol beer. No booze. I don't drink. Most of you know that. I do like the green. And 2 episodes ago, I did it on the green. And, 1 episode ago, last week, does the expression party on have any special meaning? Well, yes, it does. Again, what's up, Charlemagne? I always tell people I have a viewer that asks great questions, and it's you. It does. Party on is referring to Wayne's World, I guess, even though I don't think of it every time I say it. But when we were young, does a cheer still count if it's sweet tea? Hell yeah. I love sweet tea. I was just talking to my son about how sweet the tea is from the Chinese place. Yes, party on Wayne. If you ever hear me say party on Wayne, that's what I'm referring to. And there's a response. If I say party on Wayne, you say, people will put in the chat. You have to look at the chat. There's a response to that. Yeah, I have a big episode tonight, a big one. And I don't know where to begin, but I wanted to start by saying some of the projects I have. There it is, Party on Garth. You knew. My Ramones petition is up to 3,745. So if you look below, I think in the description of the show, it has a link now to my Ramones petition. And that is, we are naming our amphitheater out here at Rockaway Beach that's on the boardwalk after the Ramones. So, recently the Ramones Twitter posted my petition, and I went up 1,000 like that. So, thank you for signing, Bruja, Florida. Yes, it's I'm loving being a part of this and spearheading it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you sign it, I mean, it's a free amphitheater, and we intend on throwing Ramones events. On that note, I have a few projects that I'm involved in. I'm doing a talent show, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. I'm hosting and running a talent show at Rockaway Beach that has a $100 prize. So if you're watching this and you want to win $100, show up. It's a talent show. It's do whatever. You can sing a song out of your nose. Thank you, Serena. Yeah, no, seriously, it means a lot to do this. I take it very seriously, this naming of the amphitheater. Also, check this out. I found this on eBay. It is a bootleg Blu-ray of the Uncut Devils. It's a great print, and there's a documentary. There's 2 documentaries on here that are not on YouTube. 2! If you find this, it has the uncut version and the X-rated version. The uncut version's the good one. And it's a pretty good print, and it's a Blu-ray. So if you're a fan of the Devils, I always tell people this is my second favorite horror film. It is... it's one of the greatest. The documentaries really go into detail of how the film was made. They actually interview the director at his home not that long ago. I mean, he's dead now, but, you know, you get to hear his thoughts on why it didn't succeed as a film, because most of you probably have never seen this, The Devils. It was a major Hollywood film that got basically the plug pulled the minute it came out because of how shocking the subject matter was. The other thing about The Devils is it's actually wildly accurate. Oh, there you go. You know about The Devil, Hatham. Seriously. What's up, Fallon? Yes. Yeah, you all know this movie, I know. There's a lot of people in here that are fans of it. Yeah, just want to throw that out. I'm reading like a freak. And I'm about to start The Gay Science by Friedrich Nietzsche. I think I'm up to 5 of his books. And I will reread them all again. As I'm reading them, I'm like, I can't wait to reread these. Great, great, great stuff. Talent show dress code. Of course. Punk rock. Yes, Dark Alchemy. The talent show is going to be held at the Surf Club, which is pretty punk rock in its, whatever you want to call it, in its form. So yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, singing, dancing. I want to see everything. I want to see people doing magic tricks and juggling and, yeah. Got lost in the glamour. What glamour? Where's the glamour? What else? Okay. I want to get into my subjects tonight earlier than normal because I think they're going to go on. They're very detailed, but before we get into the subject tonight, because it's a big one, it's really big. I wanted to mention a couple things, free speechy type things. Something I noticed podcasters doing, and I noticed I do it, and that is speaking, avoiding using words. Words that the AIs will pick up on and zone in. Like, I don't know if you know this, but if you swear within the first minute of your video, it recognizes it. What is it about the mustache philosopher that got you so hooked? Ooh, good question. I would say his concept of will to power. Because most people have heard of that. Same thing they've heard of God is dead. but they don't really know what those mean. They're so simple in their phrasing. Will to power, God is dead, right? That the complexity behind them is kind of maddening. And when I realized what he was talking about with will to power and the scope of it, it kind of blew my mind. It was an unveiling of sorts, a witnessing of a truth of reality that knocked me off my socks. So, we have somebody I don't know, Mruchzilla 86. I can't read it. My glamour. Thank you. Hi, sick background. Yes. You like my digital background? I'm kidding. It's not digital. Somebody asked me once if it was digital. Thank you. They've almost become commercialized. Who has? I don't know what you're referring to. The Blob and oh yeah, that King Kong Escapes poster is signed by the girl. Yeah, I met her at a convention. It was so cool. So anyway, I noticed that podcasters and me use different words when we're speaking to avoid the censors. For instance, the flu that caused the pandemic, I know people that call it the coof with the oo sound so that it doesn't trigger the censors. When I realized that I was just doing it naturally, and I saw other podcasters, like certain political people, they gave them nicknames so that you don't know. I realized that this is the dark future that we're headed for, where people seem to trust authorities in defining what's truthful. It's going to get to the point where things that we're saying, it's really going to be not signed by King Kong. That would be. I see. Will to power, God is dead. I feel they've become commercialized. I don't know about that. I most people don't even know what they mean. God is dead for them. It's like, how can someone? I've met Christians that are like, how dumb to proclaim God is dead. How would he know? They don't understand what he's saying is, we don't need God anymore. We've canceled him because of that. That's what he's referring to. So I don't know if it's been commercialized. I know Jordan Peterson in his lectures brings up Nietzsche a lot, and he actually doesn't understand some of the concepts. Or at least I'll say he does, but he's interpreting them to suit his weird... I'll argue that Jordan Peterson is a religious atheist. He is an atheist, but he won't say it. By the way, it's an Ultraman character. Which character is Ultraman? Oh yeah, pew pews. Yes, that's what I'm saying exactly. So it's getting to be where we're eggshelling our speech. Yes, you can't say suicide. But yeah, I'm telling you, you can't. It's getting to be really terrible, and it's your fault. It's everybody's watching's fault. Yeah, because people don't talk about it enough. Please, we have to. Free speech is the end of the line for me. It's the only political thing I'll actually say something. That's how this is funny. Dark Alchemy said he discovered my band by flipping the algorithm. Wow. So yeah, I don't really, it shocks me actually that we're doing this. We're starting to avoid the robots by adjusting our speech. Unalive isn't limited. I don't know what that means. It's getting to be really scary. So on that note, somebody figured out and around to the whole concept of us investing our lives in these YouTube channels, and then they give you a strike for doing something, and then they don't tell you what you did wrong, and then you got to just admit it without them actually telling you. And if you get 3 strikes, you lose everything, and it's really like kind of scary. I'm a licensed counselor, and the current trend in mental health. This is Bill. Hi, Bill. is to specifically use the word suicide is too oh, okay. They tell you to use the word. Anyone in Dubai just need have some questions. I don't think I don't have any regulars in Dubai, but yeah, if there is, somebody here has a question. Bold speech is silent. Well, yeah, cuz people are afraid of losing their jobs. Yes, I do think it's like not a bit like 84. It's exactly 1984. Our government tried to do a Ministry of Truth a few years ago. They literally tried it a few years ago, just recently, and it got hit so hard with critics, and then they quietly removed it, but it'll come back. They're just waiting for the right time. They're waiting for people to get scared. Yeah, the robots are going to try to police us, and once it gets out of control, it will be out of control. Somebody tried to come up with a concept of when you subscribe to somebody on YouTube, you're not really subscribing to them, because if they don't like me, they'll tell you you won't get to see your subscription to me. Okay? So, Muslim during the day work sucks. Just kidding. What's the during the day work sucks? I don't get it. I don't get the joke. So this guy invented a system where when you hit subscribe on YouTube, it's some sort of app that the person isn't subscribing to your YouTube channel, they're subscribing to you. And if you get kicked off of YouTube, they can still go find you on your website, on Rumble, on Twitter, whatever. They can go find you. You're not erased. You know, it's like, it's a way to ensure that your material isn't just erased and gone. They pulled his channel. They gave him 2 strikes in one day without saying what it was. And they pulled his channel. And I know another YouTuber that did an episode on him, and that episode was demonetized, and I don't know if they pulled it yet, but they probably will. You see what's going on here? You can't even discuss these things. They're not only kiboshing things, they're like doing it to the discussion. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people that are friends of mine that were championing the whole misinformation, we need a cop. And it's over. The cat's out of the bag. It's either all one side or all the other. Either we get everything that's bullshit, real, all of it, all jammed into one, and religion, astrology, politics, keep going, all of it, and then, yes, I know, see, Ruth, that's it, because I'm shadow banned. That's what that means. It means they've shadow banned me. For some reason. That's what it means. See, some people get it, some people don't. My reach is limited. That's all it is. This app, this guy that created the app, I love that he did that, but it's really unfortunate that that's how this works. Everything's privatized. They call it the keyhole problem. Everything's a keyhole. I'll say it again. I use this. In my view, what's the best argument against the idea of free speech? Wow, you ask questions that are entire episodes. Wow, that is a great question, because we could do a whole episode where we try to, like, poke holes in it. I guess my argument against free speech, the only way I would be able to do it would be if I put myself in a king position of sorts. Interesting. How do you handle the yelling fire in a crowded spaces conundrum? I see. So Morpheus from the Matrix. I don't know about that. So yelling fire in a crowded theater isn't you expressing a belief. If you actually believed that there was a fire, if I was sitting in the movies and I hallucinated that there was a fire in the theater and I yelled fire and everybody ran out and somebody got trampled, yeah, that wasn't good. But if I really saw a fire, then is it actually my fault? Just like if I'm driving down the road and I have a seizure and I run somebody over, I mean, it was an accident, right? But if I'm yelling fire in a theater, that's immediately going to cause a disaster to happen. Um, yeah. Well, it's tricky because if a belief does that, then what do? If somebody believes in something that might trigger a disaster, how do you stop them? I guess you have to say, yes, say your thing, and we just now have to prepare for the ramifications of such if it happens. Educate people instead of hiding things, instead of hiding the guy that's about to say something to cause a riot. Educate people on how to react to that type of speech. This is why free speech and guns require education and smart people. That's what I would say. Here we go. What's this? Oh God, it's good. I'm trying to keep up here. The wisest, strongest will survive upcoming future. Yes, of course. Expression was actually used by the United States Supreme Court to justify sedition laws during World War I. I don't know what. Oh, the yelling crowd. Yeah, I need to look up the details of what we're talking about here. That I don't know what you mean. But yeah, that's interesting. I think when it gets down to it, when they start policing speech, I thought it was funny that religion is not considered misinformation, disinformation. You know, like, especially the religions we can find the smoking gun. You know, there are religions that have a smoking gun because they're new and you can see them. Mormonism, there's a smoking gun. There is. You can see where the guy kind of made it up. Very detailed. Same with Scientology. You know, they're new. They're new things. You can see the trick. And you could say that that's misinformation and leading people wrong. You could say any pseudoscience, homeopathic medicine, you could call that misinformation or disinformation if you want to go there. Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky, and I think if we have free speech, we talk about it. That's how you get over it. You discuss it. You teach people how to be reactive and responsive and non-reactive. That's what it is. Yeah, I cannot understand the minds that would follow the channel. Supreme Court defines free speech as money. And feel offended with it. Yeah, well, it's easy. I mean, if you're the king daddy-o of all things, you want to be in charge of speech and guns. I mean, I would, wouldn't you? It's just easier for the control your peasants. You know? All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. I have two subjects today to talk about. Two. And one of them is... Well, here it is. Bam! The end of the world, values, and Godzilla. And if you're a Godzilla fan, yeah, we're going to do a nice chat about all the new crazy Godzilla stuff coming out. But I'm going to do that after we talk about the end of the world. And I wanted to call it that, this episode, I think it sounds heavy. The end of the world, like it's over. And when I say that, I'm not necessarily referring to the world, although you could think of it that way. But to me, when you say the world's going to die, pew pews and money, might is right strikes again. Always. Always, always, always. It is literally the, it just might is right is the default. The law of the jungle is just default. Everything goes there. So if you let entropy go, it goes there. If you let entropy go, it goes there. It's always there. And that's why the people that hate capitalism, to me, capitalism is just the mirror of law of the jungle. It mirrors it, and it's a default. Which world? Well, I would say the end of the world, we could say the end of humanity. But we could also say the end of the world, like it literally blows up. And I wanted to talk tonight on that subject because I want to pull the camera back from the world's politics and everything. Just pull it back and that's it. Whoever has the guns makes the rules. That is 100%. 100%. Like, I can't believe people don't see that is that clear. It's funny. So pulling the camera back, I will say right now, this is the closest to World War III scenario I have ever seen in my entire life. And I find it to be fascinating that for the last 20 years, some of the most important pieces of television and things were end of the world scenarios, like The Walking Dead, Lord of the Rings, these kind of themes of, you know, things really hitting the fan. Oh, here, let's look here. What's this? Let's go to Bartertown. Yes. Oh my God, me on 1.5 speed sounds like I'm on amphetamines. I love it. I already can talk pretty fast. I actually considered learning how to do that thing where you talk really fast and you can just do this and make it sound perfectly clear. Hey, thank you so much. Tips mean a lot. I don't beg for tips, but by God, they mean a lot. Thank you. So let's talk about the end of the world. What does that mean? I mean, are we really looking at a World War III scenario? You know, if you think about this, you can see the world's zeitgeist online. You can see the think and where the thoughts are. And it really, really, really feels like, as a species, we've pushed the envelope. And the fact that World War II happened not that long ago, there was a nuke used by us. There was a bombing like you can't believe. You know, just aside from the nukes, it's hard to believe. I sounded like Ben Shapiro? Where? What part sounded like Ben Shapiro? I'm curious. You mean when I was talking fast? Oh my God. I don't want to sound like him. I think the only thing I agree with him on is the free speech. But he doesn't like hate speech against his deities. And that's where he falls. But yeah. That's funny. Oh my God, the Micro Machines guy. That's right. I forgot about him. I actually, at Throdini's, I don't know if Throdini's watching, but at his 70th birthday, he had the world's fastest talking woman at his party. Ooh, what is this? Mussolini once said that war is to men what motherhood is to women. So I was actually going to mention that, of our secret desire to like to watch this all go down. Now, most of you know, I try to stay out of the politics of things. I will say this. If I have to pick an asshole to run the world, I pick our version of it. You know, to me, there's different versions of the asshole. And so our American version, I prefer. John Machida Jr. is the Micro Machines guy. Excellent, Satan Splain. Thank you. Hey, how are you? Satan Splain, right now watching, has an excellent podcast that you should all go follow. I'm not kidding. Go over to Satan Splain. He's a good friend of mine. And watch his show. Cheers. Great shows. So, I'm a bit of a nihilist about things. My personal way of looking at it is, it's exactly George Carlin. I think we're lucky and we have the front row seats to the end of the world. Well, that's it. We're living through it. We might really be living through it. I live in New York City. If it really hits the fan, we're getting it, you know? And really, look how quick it can happen. I can't believe people are really belly up, ready to give up their rights to own firearms and to protect themselves, when, as you can see, when it's too late, it's too late. You know, it just, boop, look at Israel. It just happens. It's like, you know, there it is. It quickly happens. I have a very strong memory of a production of Cabaret. Carnegie Mellon, 1994, maybe? I don't remember. And they did a production of Cabaret where Act 1 ends with the song Tomorrow Belongs to Me. And they're singing it on stage, and it's like a Christmas party, and everybody's happy. Um, and in the audience, they had people that were in the show that people didn't know, and they started singing along. And what I didn't realize is they all had the Nazi armband on in the audience, and they stood up and started singing. And it was really neat because they were kind of placed around the audience. And as you're watching this unfold, obviously the director wanted you to feel that moment of the frog boiling, realizing it's over. And I'll never forget it. You're just like, yeah, no, it's too late. Why didn't we get ready for this? Okay? And so that's how I see when it hits the fan, that's what happens. And it to me really looks like that. Now, as Charlemagne said, men like war. Maybe it really is part of our fabric of our existence. Is in our DNA, there is this balancing factor of will to power, which I really do think is the fabric of reality. Everything's expanding. I don't like using the words will to power when I talk to people that don't know about this stuff, because will, nobody knows what it means. To where? Is it a place? They don't know what that means. And power sounds like, ugh. It sounds like someone trying to dominate. And when you meet a hippie who's trying to get you to change your language, or they're offended, well, we don't think of them as like but they are trying to expand their idea. So to me, will to power is, and so will to power as a concept, as the fabric of reality, everything's trying to expand. In expansion, you step on toes. You have to. How could you not? It's just going to happen. Your will, your value that you're trying to expand upon might contradict, probably will, somebody else's. And immediately dissonance is struck. A dissonant chord is sounded. So, what's this? Where are we going here? Stanhope picked up where Carlin. Oh, I don't know him. Carlin, I mean, intercontinental nuclear missile. Yeah, we have them now. The bombs we have are way bigger than the ones they had in World War II. Win the war without firing a shot. Well, yeah. I mean, really, I wanted to talk about it because, well, what do we do? Like, whose side do we pick for this? Whose side do we pick for that? What do you do? I noticed that as soon as things happen, whether it be a flu or politics or both, people pick a side. They do. They pick team A or B. They really do. It's the way it is. People love choosing a side. It makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel safer. We evolved to do that. I understand. Doug Stanhope. Hatham Thorne, you're telling me to check him out. Is this a new guy? Because I'll check him out. Now, as End of the World goes, we could get hit by a comet or an asteroid. Would you want to know? Oh, here's a big question. Ask this to your friends. Ask this to your family. Ask this to your kids. Ask them, are you okay with the government lying to you for your safety? I'm very curious. Oh, okay. C.R. Mealy likes Stanhope. I got to check him out. Wait, is this the guy that looks half Asian, or he is Asian? I mix up comedians. I saw somebody recently that had some free speech stuff. The illusion of choice. Oh, he's older. Okay, yeah, I don't know him. Do you think if Western countries still had the draft, people would be less enthusiastic about war? No. I think if politicians... Here, I was going to say this, and this sounds kind of harsh, But we have a lot of politicians now that sign checks to fulfill the lobbyists' wishes on both sides of the aisle. And so why, when they find out that the war was based on a lie, or if you can prove that they knew that before they signed the check, why aren't they hung in the public? I'm being dead honest. If someone, I'm actually against the death penalty because of mistakes. That's why I don't like the death penalty, because there's too many, it's easily mistakable, and it's easily frameable, you know? So I don't like that. But if you're a politician, it's different. You're actually signing things to send people to die or to kill people. So if you make a mistake, they should kill you. I'm being dead honest. I'm not kidding. You know, when these politicians vote for things and then, you know, I think there should be public executions. Oh, the public's opinion? Well, I think even if there was a draft, I don't know if that would work. Because you could brainwash everybody pre-draft. That's what I would do. I mean, I try to get in the bad guy's shoe, you know, really like think like maliciously quick, and that would be it. It would just be, all right, great, there's a draft, but if something can happen to get to their hearts, then it doesn't matter. Look at World War II. Everybody signed up for it. It didn't matter. People volunteered for 9/11 after 9/11. A lot of people signed up. What about lex talionis? So lex talionis isn't the death penalty, because the death penalty, somebody else is doing it. That's my argument. If somebody wrongs me, why is the state doing it for me? That's different. I don't understand that concept. I just, yeah, I don't get it. It's not. To me, lex talionis, law of the jungle, I did a show about this, I think last week. Revenge. What does revenge mean? Revenge is nature's justice system. If you bother me and I poke your eyes, you go, ow! Oh, wow, I shouldn't have bothered him, and I'll tell all my friends to not bother that guy. That's what that is. That's, you know, that's to me what, you know, well, there you go. The active Basement Axis Mundi just read. I read a recent poll that the majority of active military, they don't support the current event. Probably not. Yeah, I would say a lot of people are like, why are we doing all this? But again, we have like 900 army bases all over the world. Now, do I like that? Not really, because I know it causes resentments. Would you want 900 police stations in your tiny little hometown? Probably not. Would we want China with 50 army bases surrounding us? Don't think so. So as you can see, you know, this is because the state is an impartial third party who is supposed to administer justice. When it's that controlled, to me, if you're killing somebody, it means you're removing them permanently from the world so they don't cause any trouble. Right? Yeah, that's what that is, I guess. I just think, what if they catch the criminal, right? He goes to court, they say he's guilty, and then they say to the person that was wronged, hey, the guy that murdered your child, we have him. He's been convicted. Death penalty, yay or nay? The person says yay. And then they have to go do it, because if it turns out the guy was actually innocent, the blood's on the other guy's hands. How about that? This isn't about one action. It's about escalation. Well, again, it's not just escalation. It's just nothing has a beginning or an end. You have to look at the beginning. Where's the beginning of all this? You can't find it because there isn't one. Same thing with the end. Where does it end? It's not going to end ever. It can't. It's just, you know, that's how I see it. I don't think a justice system could ever be impartial. How could it? It's impossible. My solution's impartial because they don't get to, they do some of the work, but then they put it on the person. I know in Japan, my ex-father-in-law was killed in a car he got hit by a car. And my mother-in-law and brother-in-law got to pick, oh, my phone's still on. They got to pick if the guy went to jail or not. And they decided that he needed to go to jail for 1 day because it was an accident, but it's still, which is interesting. Wait, discrimination, since the punishment would vary based on the victim. Yeah, but if you're the perpetrator and you attacked a victim that wasn't as bloodthirsty, is that anybody's problem? I don't know. Let me think about that. That's good. That's actually interesting. Well, the victim better have some solid evidence before they pull a switch. Right, exactly. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. Is that what that's called? Interesting. Yeah, it's something I've always thought about. Like, yeah, what does it mean, It's revenge. It's a form of revenge. I mean, they'll call it justice, but yeah, okay. Interesting. Well, let's bring it back to the end of the world stuff before we get into the Godzilla stuff. Because Godzilla ties into the end of the world. Because Godzilla came out, the first one, 1954. It was right after the war, a country that was bombed to hell. Not just nuclear bombs, 2 of them, but Tokyo was decimated by regular bombs. So, what's this? Women and children, disabled people, and etc. is a worse crime. What are you referring to? Meaning, if somebody kills... Yeah, I don't know how that would work. It's complicated. It really is case by case, baby. I agree, Ruth. Yeah, this is why I don't like hate crime. Quote, hate crimes. I don't understand that. If somebody kills somebody for being rich, or for having a different skin color, or for having a different religion, or for having too many toys, or to me, they're all hateful for different reasons. They're all different versions of hate. They dislike you, and that's why they're able to pull this off. They have I don't know. Who decides the worth of a human life? Exactly. It's a weird question. Yeah. I know. It's a complicated mess. Well, now we're looking at it on a global scale. So now let's look at the death penalty on a global scale. Because that's what this is. It means it's never going to go away. We're always going to have a death penalty, whether it be the state or an invading army or a terrorist group or whatever you want to call it. They're punishing people for things, right? Lava lamp. I want to smoke. I need to smoke to get into the Godzilla mood because this subject's dark. I don't think it's worse to kill a child. Killing is wrong. I agree. Killing is killing, whether it's grandma or an 8-year-old. I mean, what's that old saying? When a child dies, it's a tragedy. When a 50-year-old dies, it's a shame. Yeah, I agree. Death is death. It's all bad, right? I mean, really. I don't think death is bad. I just think when it happens and it's, violent, just like a bomb dropped in my neighborhood, and yeah, it's awful. It's like, no one wants that. No one asks for it. I understand it is part of the fabric of reality, and it could very well be at my back door. I mean, we could get bombed here by either a terrorist or an invading army or who knows what. I will say I have never seen it get this close. I see a lot of political people fanning the flames. I don't see the rhetoric of the opposite of fanning of flames. I see the lighter fluid and the flames came out quick. As soon as this happened, I was like, ooh, I hope everybody takes their time with the decisions they make. And they didn't. It kind of became a thing. And I'm not just talking about the Middle East. I'm talking about everywhere, you know? The one in Europe, I found it funny because America does the same thing, and for some reason, no one says anything, you know? Well, they do. We just don't hear about it. I think abuse is worse than murder. Yeah, again, yeah, sure. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. Yes, I know. So does Israel. So does India. So does North Korea. It's a comedy. That's good. C. Armeli. I thought the saying was, when a child dies, it's a tragedy. When an old person dies, it's a comedy. So Godzilla. Godzilla's about destruction. I always took the character of Godzilla as a force of nature that is neither good nor evil. It's beyond good and evil. And it is, it's hard to hate it because Godzilla is a result of man's terribleness. It's a symptom. Now, I don't know if you know this, but 99.9% of all living creatures are extinct, which means everything basically goes extinct except for a tiny little percent of things that, because of natural selection and how simple it is, they go right through. They're able to last. And we are for us to be on that list isn't shocking if we would go extinct because of our stupidity or for whatever reason. It could be a comet could hit. Whatever it is, it's totally possible. A poison gas erupts from a volcano. An earthquake that causes such terrible tsunamis that it triggers more earthquakes that kick so much dust in the sky, right? Whatever it is, it could all be over quick. And that's it. That's the way it goes. Everything goes extinct eventually. Extinction could be a lie. Referring to, okay, how do you pronounce that? I don't know my germality. Extinction could be a lie, meaning, okay, the dodo bird. So you're telling me they're not extinct. Fill the gaps in on what you said, so I know what you're saying. If you're referring to an afterlife scenario, I can't comment on it because, when the Earth is tired of us, well, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think the Earth doesn't. Yeah, the Earth moves on and goes forever until the sun decides to swallow us, which it will eventually. When the sun turns into a giant, it swells. It'll eat us. I guess the goal is that if we advance enough, we can leave the planet and continue our species. Probably not, but that's okay. Temporary's fine. I don't know why everybody's so shocked about temporary. Yeah. I don't know. Now, what is your favorite Godzilla movies? Because right now, we have the first Japanese Godzilla movie to come to an American theater in a long time. And it looks good. And it's getting called a masterpiece. We also have a Godzilla TV show coming to Apple TV, which I don't know if I'm going to get to see it right away because I really don't want to pay for Apple TV. But what are the Godzilla movies? It's called Godzilla -1. I keep forgetting the names. It's a brand new Toho Godzilla movie that is CG. It's computer, but it looks pretty good. The last one Mothra. Okay, you're a Mothra fan. I didn't know that. Good to know. The last one was called Shin Godzilla, and that came to the movies too. Short run, Japanese. They made the CG Godzilla look like a suit. Now, the American Godzilla TV show that's about to come out, I have the trailer for it, and I kind of want to show it to you. Then I have another trailer of something you might not know about, and Godzilla vs. Megalon. Oh, I love it. Well, Basement Axis Mundi, you're going to love the video I'm going to show in a second. Destroy our monsters. I love that one. So here, check this out. This is Legendary's new TV show. It's called Legacy of the Monsters. Just look at the quality here. This is a TV show. It's the Monsterverse created by Legendary Pictures. Major studio work. Millions of dollars. They made Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, which I like the best out of all of these. Godzilla King of the Monsters. I liked it. Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay. I wanted more script. Yeah, Shin Godzilla is amazing. And then the new film comes out next year, Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire. Okay? And here we go. Look at this.
Monarch was there in San Francisco. When the whole city was coming down, these guys were taking pictures, like they'd been waiting for it.
You think that your father was working for them?
This stuff was in a safe.
Who are they? What's Monarch?
There's a new world coming.
This is the world we live in. Monsters are an inescapable reality.
And it's just
Those files belong to us, and they are more important than you could possibly imagine.
there's a new world coming.
This is gonna give me nightmares.
This one's coming to an end.
Now, you can choke down that Monarch lie
This one's coming to an end.
about your father disappearing. Or we can find out what really happened before it's too late.
Oh my God, go!
This world, it's not ours. Believe me.
It is so much more vast than we could possibly imagine.
These monsters and Monarch have taken everything from me. No more.
The world is on fire. If you want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
There's a new world coming.
Okay. Kurt Russell. Come on. He looks cool. All right. It looks great. It looks pretty. It looks nice. My gripes. Well, okay. I know it's got two stories. It's like part of it takes place in the 50s. Part of it takes place now. And there's like two parallel stories. Clearly Godzilla's in it. He's probably not in it a lot. I wish they would use more Toho monsters and more Japanese lore. The last movie to use a suit was Godzilla Final Wars. And it is expensive. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the new Toho Godzilla movie cost $20 million. And it looks fantastic. Go look it up. Godzilla -1. It's from Japan. It's subtitled. It's a Japanese movie. 20 mil. King Kong Godzilla, the new one, I don't know, 150 mil? It's ridiculous how much these things cost. I am sick and tired of CG special effects. It's like the difference. I love Gamera 2 Bill, and the movies from the 90s were good. I just really am sad that they went in that direction of all CG, because the art form of building a set and using costumes and then the computers to clean it up, that's the route I like. I'm sad that it's gone. I know it's harder to do, but that's what the art form is. It's like an action movie. The art form is filming stunt work. You're filming live things happening, and there's a gravity to it. The way they move has got real, it feels real because it is real, right? And so when you watch Tom Cruise movies and you see him flying an airplane, you kind of tickle because you know he's really flying it. Like when you watch Kung Fu movies where they're actually really good with their form and it's not heavily edited, you know, Lucy Liu trying to sword fight even though she can't sword fight, and it's just edited to look like it, as opposed to somebody that really mastered it. That's what I miss. And I want to show you something new that came out the other day. This is the trailer for it. You can actually go watch the whole film. I think it's 10 minutes long. These are people that worked for Toho making a Godzilla movie using the real stuff. They actually have the suit from the last Godzilla movie that used a suit, Godzilla Final Wars. This is the trailer, and anybody that likes Godzilla vs. Megalon from the 70s, you're gonna die, because you're about to see the trailer for Godzilla versus Jet Jaguar. And Jet Jaguar is, well, but practical can look real with a little enhancements. That's what I like. That's what I love, is to take the, like, for instance, watch this. Here's a suit, but look at the CG that's been added over it. Godzilla versus Jet Jaguar. This is very short. Watch this.
고지라 4オペレーションジェットジャガー11月3日作戦開始
That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That gives me goosebumps. It's great. You can watch it. Look up Godzilla versus Jet Jaguar. It's already up. They did an animated one for Megalon, a new one. It's okay, but I like this better. Yeah, that's made by people that work for Toho. It's real. It's just not an official product, even though they gave them thumbs up. Toho doesn't, they like it. Out of all the movies, it's funny, I tried to list them all in order. I can do a lot of them. I used to be able to spout them out. Charlemagne, party on. Thank you for coming in. Your questions are always awesome. Well, the Wolfman, black and white movie with the werewolf transformation was done by That is Lon Chaney as the Wolfman, 1941, 39, 41. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the Showa Godzilla series, the original ones, the old ones. Godzilla, excellent movie. Godzilla Raids Again. King Kong versus Godzilla, another one of my favorites. Mothra versus Godzilla. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Invasion of Astro Monster. That's my favorite one. If somebody asks me my favorite Godzilla movie, it's Invasion of Astro Monster. I love it. Ibra, Horror of the Deep. Son of Godzilla. Destroy All Monsters. All Monsters Attack has Gabara, one of my favorite monsters. Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is the smog monster. Godzilla vs. Gigan. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And last but not least, The Terror of Mechagodzilla. And that's the original Showa series. Some of those movies, I've seen them so many times. Here's the Heisei series. This is the 90s, 80s, 90s stuff. And some of these are amazing. Return of Godzilla, 1985. That's the first one I saw in the movie theaters. That one. Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and Godzilla vs. Destroyer. All of those, I like all of them. They were hard to get. When they were coming out, they weren't releasing them here. You had to get bootlegs of them. I remember going to stores and buying very expensive videotapes of them. Now we get the Millennium. That's the new series. That's the next series. This is Godzilla 2000. I loved it. I saw it at the movies like 3 times. It's one of the ones that got an American release. I loved it. Space Godzilla, I do like that one. It's a weird one, but I liked it. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, GMK, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I love this one. The title is literally Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. That's the name of the movie. That's probably my favorite. All right, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, excellent, and Godzilla Final Wars. I really liked it. I've seen it a million times. And then you have Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1. I don't count the Matthew Broderick one. It's forgotten. It's really just Cloverfield was pretty neat. I'll give it a thumbs up. I did like it. But this movie reflects our obsession with the end of the world. I do. I think Godzilla is... somebody wrote in there, after World War II, that's when we started really getting into these giant monster atomic movies. Yeah. I think in our DNA, we do have a death wish. And whenever they dangle the end of the world scenarios... I don't know. My brain, when I think of the end of the world and us getting nuked and just like, my mind just kind of calms down, believe it or not. Hey, Achilles, good night. 2 a.m. is late. Party on. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I don't know. I really, I get like a calm because I know it doesn't mean anything. If you lived in certain times, while certain things were going on, it probably felt like the end of the world. But now it really looks like... I mean, dude, the world as we know it could have already ended. Meaning there could have been civilizations here and a bunch of poisonous gas wiped them out. Who knows? We could have had intelligent cockroaches here running the show a million years ago. Who knows? I don't know. I do know that humanity is fragile. If our oxygen changes a little bit, we might die. If big enough earthquake would happen, maybe everybody would die. You see, the dinosaurs were taken out because an asteroid hit, and they think it kicked enough dust in the sky to black out the sun to change the fabric of reality. Well, the religions are apocalyptic. They definitely have a death wish. I think it gives them comfort to know that the end of the world is planned as such. Maybe that's what that death wish is. It actually feels better to know that God's going to do it, right? Maybe that's what it is. Final Wars is great. I loved it. People hated it when it came out. I thought it was cool because it reminded me of the 70s Godzilla movies. It had aliens and stuff. I loved it. Without the risk of death, humans wouldn't do a lot of things like jump out of planes for fun. Yeah. I mean, wow. 8 billion human corpses. Excellent fertilizer. Yeah, it maybe. Or our toxins would poison it worse. I believe a true wolf leverages profit from crisis and other people's stupidity. Clearly, that's what happens. That's why when natural disasters happen, or a flu or anything, there's wolves waiting. And always, as soon as something bad happens, there's someone ready to make money. This is why I don't trust anything anymore. I don't, because as soon as something bad happens, someone's trying to make money on it. It's just the way it is. It's normal. That is normal. I hate how people treat that as abnormal. It's normal. I expect it. To know that there may be an end can be comforting. Yeah, that's what I think the religious death wish is. It is comforting to know how and when it's going to go down. The X from Outer Space. I don't know it. I'll look for it. Is that an old movie, like a 60s movie? It sounds 60s. Wow. Okay. The end of the world. I mean, who knows? I could be doing a broadcast like this where it's like, wow, we're in World War III. I hope I don't ever have to do that, but I guess I won't be that surprised. All it takes is for a small thing to draw a few people into what's going on to it, and that's it. It starts. And I do think every now and then one big bear tries to poke another big bear. They have to, if something's not expanding, it's contracting, or something else is going to expand over it. So I get it. I expect it. I think when you don't expect it is when it hurts the most. And so by talking about it, I feel comforted just by talking about it. And so I'd like to thank everybody for coming in tonight and talking about it. Never let a good disaster go to waste is a sound business model. I mean, that really is neo-logic. I like that. It's true. I don't put a good or a bad value on any of these things anymore. I don't. If you watch the show, I try my best to really examine it from that point of view of it's the fabric of reality. Whose team are you on? Whose team I'm on is my team, and my team might change opinions a lot of where it's best to be. So that's why politically I stay out of it. I try not to. I will say, as for issues go in politics, the biggest one for me is usually the free speech one. That would be the one. Because I work in speech. That's what I do. I perform, I make art, and I do shows. So those things alone, if I had to go through a truth doctoring, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing the truth doctoring. And I don't mind being lied to, I'll be honest. And I don't mind some BS once in a while. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Wow, we had a good one tonight. I hope people had fun. Discuss these things. Talk about it with your kids. I know a lot of people don't like to talk this stuff with their kids. Do it. Talk about it. We could all be looking at a different world here. Yep, Ruth just said it. World War III has been raging since the day after World War II ended. Yeah, we've been in a form of it. But right now, it's actually like there are like, quote, battle lines. You know, there's like tanks and stuff. Like it's starting to get to be more tangible in the traditional sense as opposed to the cold sense. Yeah. It's really like getting to be, we just got to keep talking. That's it. Just talk about it. And I don't mind. I was once criticized for reducing things to their core values. Somebody once criticized me. They're like, why do you always do that? You always break it down into these core themes. Let's talk details. And I'm like, to me, this is the detail. When I break it into a core theme, to me, I'm finding the essence of what we're discussing. And so that's what it is. I love it. Bill Yawn. I still say Godzilla's greatest win was in Bambi versus Godzilla. And if you haven't seen it, you should look up Bambi versus Godzilla. Well, it says, thanks, Cardone. Any possible way to get in touch with like-minded individuals in Dubai? I mean, that's for you. I mean, there's got to be. I would love to meet somebody who spent a lot of time there. Yeah, like in detail. I have a lot of questions too. I'm trying. It's so hard to read these tonight because they're going by fast. Gogeta Tai, Ben Shapiro. That's a good one. Oh, I love it. Wow. I mean, listen, I had a great time tonight. I really did. I like broad themes like this. They just get me thinking, and I have a great crowd. Folks, if you're in here, please hit the like and subscribe. If you're the donating type, there's a link below. But most importantly, my shows are starting to get a lot more viewers. It's increasing, and I'm humbled by it, and I thank each and every one of you. For the people that have been coming here since the beginning, it's gold. Thank you. And for the new people, keep coming back. I try to make these episodes fun, informative, and most importantly, I just want people to go do their own research. Like, I hope when I'm done, people immediately go look up movies and thoughts and ideas and talk about these things with your friends and family. That's all. And so thank you. Bill, thank you. Bill, I went to high school and middle school with Bill Yon. I love that you come in here and participate. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah. So whoever's in here, thank you. I'm going to take us out with the outro. I was going to play a couple more. Thank you. I deserve hell's blessings. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Atomic Pirate Girl. I hope I provoked thoughts. That's all. Party on. Yeah. Ruth, thank you very much. Yes. Thank you for coming in here. My informal mentor. I love it. I have a good time doing this. So I'm going to take us out. And let's see. Let's do the end credits. Maybe I'll play something fun at the end. Over and out.